Okay, so it is important to consider the eye shape when you're deciding upon your lashes. You'll notice like some lashes look super good on certain people and it looks just horrible on other people. And you know, you've got the ability always to trim the lash down so that it can fit the width of the eye, obviously. But starting with a lash curler is a really good idea to make sure the lashes aren't too pointy straight, because that's going to interrupt your pattern of where you're trying to lay the lash down. So using a regular lash curler, there's also ones that are like this that are kind of like smaller where you can get a better grip on portions of the lash, and you can even get heated lash curlers for those of us who just their lashes just want to go straight right away. It's kind of like curling your own hair, but they curl the lashes, which is kind of neat. And then you might want to well, I always do, I apply a little bit of mascara on the regular lash first before I apply the eyelashes, and then I usually marry that back together with some more mascara on top so that they come together really well. And then you can always take any kind of you know, gripping instrument that can pull them together like that as well. And where you tip the lash when you place it down is also going to change the shape of your lash. You can angle your lashes higher up and lift them like that, and that might give a little bit more of the look that you're going for, doughy-eyed look or whatever it's going to be. But there's so much variety with eyelashes, it's ridiculous. But we will talk about the eyelashes for the eye shape so that you kind of get a gist as to what will work. So you can make the lashes like longer on the outside and smaller on the inside. You can make them even around. You can even make more focus kind of like in the middle and inner corner. And we're talking now about wide set eyes. Wide set eyes when they're pulled apart like that. So if you're going to put an external extension of lashes on the outer corner, it's going to pull them further wider apart. So using you know, eyelashes that give you a little bit more focus on the inner corner will bring the eyes a little bit closer together. So keep that in mind when you're selecting for wide set eyes, if you're trying not to make them look further wider set. You can use a black mascara, as the darker color will help bring them together too, and just mascara over that, and that will help your eyes come closer together. With mono lid eyes, I do like having a little bit of thickness towards the outside, but also length, because normally, like if, you know, I lived in Asia for a while, normally like when eyelashes are really short and straight, the goal is to lengthen and obviously and to curl, and that curling and lengthening really softens the eye shape as well. You can play with quite a few different types of shapes of eyelashes with monolid eyes, but the focus being definitely to lengthen and flutter them out rather than to thicken and make the eyes look harsher. So just watch the thickness and go more for length and flutteriness when you're dealing with monolid eyes. So when dealing with hooded eyes, you can put a little bit more usually in the center depending on the eye shape, but usually with hooded eyes, the middle, if you accentuate it, it'll kind of pop it open a little bit where you're dealing with the hood. So just putting the emphasis more towards the center and even putting a little bit of light shadow right here might open that eye up a little bit and erase the look of the hoodedness. So that is my recommendation for the lash for the hooded eye. I play with an awful lot of shapes of eyelashes. I have bunches and bunches and bunches of them. If you guys want to go look at a crazy amount of shapes, go to boomxbeauty.com and you can look at all of the different shapes of lashes that there are. There's different thicknesses. Now again, almond eyes are pretty good at carrying a lot of different kinds of lashes. Like this is a little bigger than what I would normally carry off because I am more mature. I am a little mindful as to how crazy I do get with my lash length. What my favorite is, you know, my go-to is going to be the demi-wispies. We've all know about the demi-wispies, but I try not to get too stuck in a rut because it does give a cool effect to try different shapes. So for almond eyes, you can get a little bit more experimental, and I dare you to do so. So play with those different eyelash shapes on somebody with almond eyes or even set eyes, and then you'll be able to like get your fill of danger, because playing with lashes is a pretty cool thing to do, and there's wild stuff out there. You can even play with bottoms, depending, like bottom lashes. And also another thing that I like to do is put a lash set on, and then I take like the single lashes that are longer and put a few peppered in on top of a lash, on top of a strip lash, and it gives this neat effect of having full lashes but then the odd little pokey bit coming up, and it's a neat look. I like with round eyes, I like a little bit more curl in the lash, so keep that in mind, because straight lash with a round eye just doesn't seem to fit. So curlier lash is probably more suitable to the round eye. Depending on how big it is, you'll have to kind of like hold it up and measure and see if it will suit them. But yeah, having an eyelash with a bit more softness and a bit more bend in it really looks pretty on the round eye. So with close set eyes, it's a no-brainer to kind of like focus on the outside, but you might not even want to put any lash on the inner corner. You might just want to put a couple of pieces on the end and leave the inside, and that will make it look really naturally pulled apart. So with close set eyes, take a look at that as a possibility for your makeup and for your lashes, and just, you know, doing those piecey bits like clumps. Those work really, really good for close set eyes, because then you can kind of gauge what's not going to overwhelm the eye, and it also really just focuses on that outer corner. Works really well. Somebody with upturned eyes looks, I mean, it looks super cool if you can do a cat eye on them and then do a feline flick, and then try flared half lash in the outer corner, so that you can like exaggerate that a little bit. It's not a necessity, but it's a really cute look for the upturned eye, and it kind of makes them look like sparkly. So focusing again on that outer, but the half lash is awesome for somebody with upturned eyes. So for protruding eyes, they are, you know, going to be the star of the show because they're going to be standing out. And in order to like romance it and soften it, I suggest to do more of a feathery false lash, soft and feathery, and that will make the eyes look like really appealing. You don't want it to look overdone either. I mean, obviously in some cases when you're doing fashion you do make things look overdone, but for protruding eyes I really love the feathery look. So go with feathery, try feathery and see what it looks like, and I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. So deep set eyes, keep in mind that like when they're deep set, things like to hit right here a lot. So look for extra length lashes that curl up and away from the eye, and it avoids any smudging. So you want extra length up and out and that should be good. You're okay if you have thick on the outside or if you've got it in the middle, it's fine. Either one of those will work, but your goal is to get it length out and up and away, so that you can accentuate the eye shape without it constantly rubbing and hitting up here, and that's annoying for the client as well. So that is your lash shape for the eye shape lesson.